A family vacation became a nightmare when the stepmother's affair was caught on camera. Michael Bennet planned the beach vacation because he wanted one memory that did not hurt. That was all. 1 week at Myrtle Beach. A rented house with blue shutters, a wooden deck facing the dunes, and enough bedrooms so Grace could have privacy and Lily could feel safe with the hallway light on. Morning walks by the water. Pancakes cooked badly in a strange kitchen. Boardwalk lights. Salt air. Fireworks on the final night. A simple family trip. A chance to begin again. Michael told himself he was not asking for too much. After everything his daughters had been through, surely 1 week of sun, sand, laughter, and ordinary happiness was allowed. Grace was 15 now, sharp-eyed, guarded, and too mature in the way children become when adults disappoint them early. Lily was 9, soft-hearted and anxious, still carrying the fear that people who loved her might leave without warning. Their biological mother, Vanessa, had done exactly that 3 years earlier. She had not vanished completely, which somehow made it worse. She called. She promised visits. She cancelled often. She remained present enough to reopen the wound, and absent enough to never heal it. Then Claire came into their lives. Claire, who married Michael 2 years after the divorce. Claire, who never forced the girls to call her mom. Claire, who sat beside Lily through nightmares and gave Grace space when she needed it. Claire, who remembered birthdays, packed sunscreen, made holiday breakfast, and slowly became the woman Michael believed had helped his family breathe again. This vacation was supposed to prove that they were all finally becoming something solid. Even Eleanor, Michael's mother, came along. "Someone has to supervise you people," she said, while packing 3 bags for a 5-day trip. Left alone, you'd all eat chips for dinner and call it vacation food. Michael laughed. Grace rolled her eyes. Lily cheered. "Nana's coming." Claire smiled from the kitchen doorway, holding a stack of beach towels. "That means we'll eat actual vegetables," she said. "Exactly," Eleanor replied. "Civilization depends on me." Everyone laughed. For a moment, Michael stood in the hallway and watched them. Eleanor lecturing, Lily bouncing, Grace pretending not to enjoy herself, Claire folding towels with sunlight across her face. He felt something close to peace. He should have noticed Claire's phone lighting up on the counter. He should have noticed the way her smile tightened when she glanced at the screen. He should have noticed that the message was from a contact saved as work project, though Claire had taken the week off. But hope makes people generous with details that later become evidence. Michael saw the family he wanted. He did not see the secret already traveling with them. The drive to Myrtle Beach took nearly 9 hours, including Eleanor's insistence on stopping for real food and Lily's repeated need to film everything with a small action camera Michael had bought her for the trip. Lily had decided she was making a family vacation movie, not just a few clips, a real movie. She wore the camera on a strap around her wrist and narrated like a travel show host. Day 1. She announced from the backseat as Michael pulled onto the highway. "The Bennet family is going to the beach. Dad forgot the cooler, so we had to turn around after 7 minutes." Michael glanced at her in the rear-view mirror. "That does not need to be in the documentary." "It's important realism," Grace said, without looking up from her phone. Claire laughed from the passenger seat. Michael smiled. Lily swung the camera toward Eleanor, who was sitting in the back beside Grace. "Nana, how do you feel?" "Concerned about the leadership of this expedition," Eleanor said. "Dad is the leader." "That is why I am concerned," Grace snorted. Michael pretended to be offended. Claire placed a hand lightly on his arm. "You're doing great." Her touch was warm. Her phone, tucked near her thigh, buzzed again. Michael kept driving. Claire looked down. The message preview disappeared quickly, but not before Grace noticed Claire's thumb move too fast. Grace noticed things. She always had. After Vanessa left, Grace learned to read rooms the way other kids read homework. A delayed answer. A phone turned face down. A smile that arrived late. A grown-up saying, "I'm fine," with a voice that meant the opposite. Claire's behavior had changed over the past few months. Not dramatically. That was why Michael missed it. But Grace had seen it. The late-night calls on the porch. The phone turned over at dinner. The sudden work errands on Saturday afternoons. The way Claire looked guilty when Lily hugged her too tightly. Grace had wanted to be wrong. That was the part she hated. She had spent so long learning to trust Claire that suspicion felt like punishing herself. Claire had not rushed them. She had not tried to erase their mother. She had been there when Vanessa failed to be. Grace did not call her mom, but she had once, privately, thought of Claire as home. Now she watched Claire, lock her phone, and stare out the windshield. Everything okay? Michael asked. Claire turned toward him too quickly. Yes, just a work reminder. You're on vacation. I know. I'll ignore it. She placed the phone face down in her lap. Grace looked out the window. She did not believe her. But she said nothing. Because Lily was happy. Because Michael was hopeful. Because sometimes children keep adult secrets before they even know what a secret is. The beach house looked like a postcard. Blue shutters, white porch railings, a sandy path leading through seagrass toward the ocean. Inside, the walls were painted pale yellow. The couch was covered in a striped slipcover. And every room smelled faintly of salt, sunscreen, and cleaning spray. Lily ran from room to room with her camera. This is the kitchen where Nana will save us from Dad's cooking. True, Eleanor said, entering behind her with grocery bags. This is Grace's room, where she will pretend she hates vacation. Grace stood in the doorway. I do hate being filmed. That's what makes it authentic. Michael carried suitcases upstairs, while Claire opened windows and let the ocean air in. For the first 2 days, the trip was almost exactly what Michael had imagined. They walked on the beach in the morning. Lily collected shells and made Claire judge them by beauty, shininess, and personality. Grace sat under an umbrella sketching the boardwalk, though she insisted it was not a vacation activity, just something to do. Eleanor made sandwiches and complained about sand getting in places. Sand had no right to enter. Michael grilled dinner on the deck and dropped a piece of chicken through the grate, which Lily declared the dramatic climax of episode 1. Claire played her part beautifully. She put sunscreen on Lily's shoulders. She teased Grace gently, but not too much. She took photos of Michael and the girls. She laughed with Eleanor in the kitchen. She stood beside Michael at sunset while he wrapped an arm around her waist. In every family photo, she looked like she belonged. But there were cracks. On the second afternoon, Claire said she had a headache and needed to lie down. Grace saw her leave the house 10 minutes later wearing different sandals. On the third morning, Claire disappeared for an hour, saying she needed to take a work call near the dunes where it was quiet. Michael accepted it. Eleanor frowned. Grace followed at a distance. But Claire turned toward the boardwalk and vanished into the crowd before Grace could see where she went. That evening, Lily reviewed her camera footage on the couch. Look, she said, I got Claire helping me find the shell with a hole in it. On the screen, Claire knelt beside Lily near the water, smiling patiently. Michael felt his chest soften. That's a keeper. Claire stood behind the couch, watching herself in the video. Her face was unreadable. Then her phone buzzed. She stepped into the kitchen. Grace watched her go. From the couch, Lily whispered, Grace, do you think this is our best vacation? Grace looked at the screen, at Claire's frozen smile. I don't know yet, she said. Ryan Cole had not followed Claire to Myrtle Beach by accident. He claimed he had business in Charleston and decided to come up for a night. Claire knew better. Ryan never did anything by accident when drama was available. He had been part of Claire's life long before Michael. A college boyfriend, a charming mistake, a man she had once loved because he made ordinary life feel too small to accept. They reconnected 6 months earlier. At first, the messages felt harmless. Old jokes, old memories. Then, Ryan asked questions Claire was too lonely to ignore. Do you ever miss who you were before everyone needed you? Are you happy or just useful? Does Michael see you? Or only what you do for his family? Those questions entered Claire like keys. She loved Michael. She loved Grace and Lily. But stepmotherhood had become heavier than she knew how to admit. Everyone needed her to be patient, gentle, dependable, calm. Michael praised her constantly, but sometimes his gratitude felt like another responsibility. Eleanor loved her, but often as the woman who had helped save her son and granddaughters, Claire began to feel less like a person and more like a bridge everyone walked across. Ryan made her feel desired, not needed. Desired. That difference ruined her judgment. The first coffee meeting became a second. The second became a kiss. The kiss became a hotel room. Afterward, guilt came like sickness. Then, Ryan called late at night, and Claire answered. The affair should have ended before the vacation. Claire had even told Ryan so. This is my family trip, she said over the phone 2 nights before leaving. You can't contact me while I'm there. Ryan laughed softly. Your family trip. Listen to you. Don't. You sound like you're auditioning for the perfect stepmother role again. I love those girls. I'm sure you do. His tone made her angry. They matter to me. Then why do you call me when they're asleep? She had no answer. Now, on the third night of vacation, Ryan stood outside the beach bar near the boardwalk and texted her, "I'm here. One drink. Then I'll leave you to your perfect little family movie." Claire stared at the message in the bathroom mirror. She should have blocked him. Instead, she typed, "No." Ryan replied, "You said that last time too." She closed her eyes. Outside the bathroom, Lily called, "Claire, we're going to the arcade." Claire looked toward the door, then at the phone. She hated herself. And still, after dinner, she told Michael she was tired and needed a walk alone. Grace watched her change into a nicer blouse first. That was the moment Grace became certain. On the final night, fireworks were scheduled over the beach. Michael had talked about them all week. "When I was a kid," he told Lily, "Nana took me to fireworks here once, and I thought the ocean was catching fire." Eleanor laughed. "You cried." "I was 5. You were dramatic. I was emotionally complex." Grace muttered, "You still are." Lily filmed all of it. The plan was simple. Dinner at the beach house, walk to the boardwalk, watch fireworks, then come back for ice cream, and the final night of vacation. Claire looked nervous through dinner. Michael noticed, but gently. "Headache still bothering you?" "A little." "We don't have to go if you're not feeling well." "No," she said quickly. "The girls have been excited all day. We should go." Lily beamed. "Claire, you have to be in the fireworks scene." Claire smiled. "Of course." But halfway through the walk, her phone buzzed. Grace saw her look down. Claire stopped near the public restrooms. "I need to take this." Michael frowned. "Now? It's work. It'll be quick." "You're off." "I know. I'm sorry." Lily's face fell. "But the fireworks are starting." "I'll be right back," Claire said, touching her cheek. Grace stared at her. Claire avoided her eyes. Michael tried to keep the peace. "We'll save you a spot." Claire nodded and walked away. Not toward a quiet place for a call. Toward the boardwalk bars, Grace saw. She almost followed. But Lily tugged her arm. "Come on, I want to film from the sand." Grace looked between Claire's disappearing figure and Lily's excited face. Again, she chose Lily. The family found a spot near the water. Fireworks began bursting over the ocean, red and gold reflecting across the waves. Lily filmed everything, narrating breathlessly. "This is the best part of the vacation. Dad says the ocean is not actually on fire. Nana says he used to cry. Grace says she does not care, but she is smiling, so that is false." Grace rolled her eyes, but she was smiling. Michael looked around. Claire had not returned. The fireworks continued. Lily panned the camera across the beach, capturing people cheering, kids waving glow sticks, couples standing near the boardwalk, the bright lights of a beach bar behind them. For 2 seconds, in the background, Claire appeared. She was standing near the side of the beach bar with a man, Ryan. Lily did not notice. The camera moved past. Fireworks exploded overhead. Ryan touched Claire's face. Claire looked like she was crying. Then he kissed her. The camera caught it all. Small in the background, but clear enough. The family did not see it that night. Not yet. That was the cruelty of the moment. While the truth entered the camera, Michael stood with Lily on his shoulders, Grace beside him, Eleanor clapping at the sky. A happy family memory was being made and destroyed. At the same time, the next morning, rain kept them inside. It was supposed to be their final beach morning, but the sky turned grey and heavy. Eleanor declared it a packing day. Grace claimed the weather matched her mood. Lily insisted they watch her vacation movie before leaving. "Premiere screening!" she announced, plugging the camera into the living room TV. Michael smiled. "Do we need tickets?" "Yes. Payment accepted in pancakes." Eleanor said, "Your father's pancakes are a punishment, not payment." Claire sat stiffly on the edge of the sofa. She had returned late after the fireworks, claiming the work call had taken longer, and then her headache worsened. Michael had been disappointed, but not angry. Lily had fallen asleep before Claire came back. Grace had watched from the hallway as Claire slipped inside, hair wind-blown, eyes red. Now Grace sat in the armchair, arms folded. Lily started the video. At first, everyone laughed. There was Michael forgetting the cooler, Eleanor arguing with a beach umbrella, Grace pretending to hate the ocean while secretly smiling, Claire helping Lily with shells, Michael dropping chicken through the grill. "Put dramatic music there," Grace said. "I will," Lily promised. Michael felt emotional watching it. There they were, a family, maybe imperfect, but real, maybe healing. Then the fireworks scene began. The TV filled with dark beach, bright explosions, Lily's excited voice, waves crashing beneath the noise. "This is the best part," Lily said from the floor. Claire's hands clenched in her lap. Grace watched the screen carefully, though she did not know what she was looking for yet. The camera panned toward the boardwalk. Grace sat up. Wait. Lily paused. What? Go back. Michael looked at her. What did you see? I don't know. Rewind. Lily rewound 10 seconds and played the clip again. The camera moved across the crowd. Fireworks flashed. For a second, Claire appeared near the beach bar. Grace stood. Pause. Lily paused. Claire's face went white. Michael leaned forward. On the screen, Claire stood with a man. The image was slightly distant, but unmistakable. Michael turned slowly toward Claire. Is that you? Claire did not answer. Grace took the remote from Lily and advanced the video frame by frame. Ryan's hand lifted toward Claire's face. Claire did not pull away. Then, the kiss. The room became silent. Lily stared at the TV, confused. Why is Claire kissing someone who isn't Dad? No one moved. Michael's face drained of color. Eleanor whispered, Oh Lord. Claire began crying. Grace dropped the remote onto the couch. I knew it. Michael looked at Grace. You knew? I suspected. His expression twisted with pain. Then he turned back to Claire. Who is that man? Claire covered her mouth. Michael, please. Who is that man? Ryan. Ryan who? Ryan Cole. The name meant little to Michael at first. Then memory surfaced. Old boyfriend. The messages he had once seen and dismissed. The work calls. The walks. The headaches. The missing hour during fireworks. His hands began to shake. How long? Claire sobbed. 2 months. Michael stood. The affair? She nodded. His eyes closed briefly. When they opened, he looked older. I brought you here to make memories with my children, he said. And you turned this trip into evidence. Claire cried harder. Lily began to cry too. Grace moved beside her sister, protective and furious. Were you with him while we were waiting for you to come watch the fireworks? Lily asked. Claire looked at her. The silence answered before the words could. Lily turned away. Michael pressed his hands to his face. The beach house, full of rain and packed suitcases and half-eaten breakfast, became the place where the vacation ended. Not because the storm outside had ruined the day, because the camera had told the truth. Claire tried to explain, but every explanation sounded smaller than the footage. She said she had felt overwhelmed. She said Ryan had come to town without her permission. She said she had wanted to end it. She said she had gone to meet him to say goodbye. Grace laughed bitterly. You kissed him goodbye during our fireworks? Claire flinched. Michael looked at her with unbearable disappointment. You could have told me you were drowning, he said. Instead, you let my children laugh on camera while your secret stood just outside the frame. Claire covered her face. I'm sorry. Eleanor stood near the window, one hand pressed to her chest. She had loved Claire too, not as a daughter by blood, but close enough that the betrayal felt personal. She remembered the first time Lily fell asleep against Claire at Sunday dinner. She remembered Grace letting Claire see her artwork. She remembered Michael, looking less haunted. Now she looked at the paused video on the TV. Claire and Ryan in the background, fireworks in the sky, Lily's excited narration still frozen in the air. Eleanor turned to Claire. A camera caught what your conscience should have stopped. Claire broke. I know. No, Eleanor said. You don't. Not yet. You did not only betray my son, you let my granddaughters build joy around a lie. Claire looked at Lily. Lily hid behind Grace. Michael took a breath. We're leaving. Claire looked up. What? The vacation is over. Michael, I'm taking the girls home. Claire stood. I'll come with you. We can talk on the way. No. The word landed hard. Michael's voice shook, but he held it steady. You are not sitting in the car with my daughters for 9 hours while they process seeing you kiss another man on their vacation video. Claire's face crumpled. I don't have a way. You can call a rideshare. Call Ryan. Call anyone. But not us. Grace looked at her father, surprised. Michael had never sounded like that before. Not cruel. Final. Claire nodded slowly, tears falling. She looked at Lily. Lily, I love you. Lily cried silently. Grace answered for her. Don't. Claire turned toward Grace. Grace, I'm sorry. Grace's voice shook. You knew what this vacation meant to us. Dad wanted one happy memory, and you hid this inside it. Claire lowered her head. There was no defense. Within an hour, the suitcases were packed. Lily refused to let Claire touch hers. Grace deleted several cheerful clips from her phone, then cried because she immediately regretted it. Michael unplugged the camera from the TV and placed it gently in Lily's backpack. You don't have to watch it again, he said. Lily looked at the backpack. I wanted it to be a happy movie. Michael knelt in front of her. I know. Did I ruin it by filming? His heart broke. No. You didn't ruin anything. The camera told the truth. That is not your fault. Lily nodded, but she did not look convinced. Children often believe they caused pain simply by discovering it. Michael would spend months teaching her otherwise. The drive home was long and quiet. Rain followed them for the first 2 hours, streaking the windows and blurring the highway. Eleanor sat in the front passenger seat this time. Grace and Lily sat in the back. Claire was not with them. That absence filled the car. Lily held her camera in her lap, but did not turn it on. She kept tracing the edge of it with her thumb, as if it were both treasure and weapon. After an hour, she whispered, "Dad?" Michael glanced in the mirror. "Yeah, sweetheart. Was Claire lying in all the videos?" Grace looked out the window. Eleanor closed her eyes. Michael gripped the steering wheel. "No," he said carefully. "Not all of them." "How do you know?" He did not have a perfect answer. "I think some moments were real. I think she did love collecting shells with you. I think she did laugh at Nana's umbrella disaster. I think she did care about us." Lily's voice cracked. "Then why did she do that?" Michael swallowed. "Because sometimes people can feel love and still make choices that hurt everyone. Love without honesty can still be dangerous." Lily looked down at the camera. "I don't like that." "Me neither," Grace spoke without turning. "So now every good memory has a bad thing hiding behind it?" Michael's chest tightened. "No." Grace finally looked at him. "How do you know?" He had to think. Then he said, "Because the bad thing was real, but it doesn't get to own every second before it. We may not know how to separate it yet, but we will." Grace looked away again. "I hate her." Michael nodded. "You're allowed. I miss her too." "You're allowed that too?" Lily began crying softly. Grace reached over and took her hand. Michael saw it in the mirror and almost had to pull over. Eleanor placed her hand over his on the console. No one spoke for a long time. The road stretched ahead. Home no longer felt the same, but it was still where they had to go. Claire stayed behind in Myrtle Beach for one night. Not with Ryan. Alone. She sat in a cheap hotel room near the highway with her suitcase by the door and the sound of rain against the window. Ryan called 11 times. She answered on the 12th. "What happened?" he asked. They saw the video. A pauser. "What video?" "Lily's camera caught us." Ryan cursed softly. "That's unfortunate." Claire closed her eyes. Unfortunate. A child had watched her stepmother kiss another man. And Ryan called it unfortunate. "They're destroyed," Claire said. "Claire, listen to me. This was going to come out eventually. Maybe it's better." "Better?" "I mean, now you don't have to keep pretending." Something in her went cold. There it was. The fantasy Ryan had sold her, that her family was a performance and he was the truth. But Ryan had not seen Lily's face. He had not heard Grace say, "Dad wanted one happy memory." He had not watched Michael unplug the camera like it had burned him. Ryan loved the hidden Claire, the one who met him in stolen hours and hotel rooms, the one who could pretend desire had no consequences. He did not love the whole life she had shattered. "You will escape," Claire said. "What?" "Not love, escape." "Claire, I chose you because you made me feel like I could disappear from responsibility. But I don't want to disappear anymore. I want to face what I did." Ryan sighed. "You're being dramatic." She almost laughed. Maybe once, that tone would have pulled her back into proving herself to him. "Not anymore. Do not contact me again," she said. Then she hung up and blocked him. After that, the hotel room was silent. For months, Claire had imagined silence as freedom. Now it felt like punishment. And truth. Back home, Michael asked Claire not to return to the house. She moved into a small apartment 2 weeks later. Before that, he packed some of her clothes, while Eleanor took the girls out for lunch. He folded each item carefully, because anger did not erase the years Claire had been part of their home. He found Lily's old handmade card in Claire's bedside drawer. "Thank you for staying." Michael sat on the edge of the bed for a long time holding that card. Then he placed it in a separate envelope, not in a box with clothes, not thrown away. Separate. Some things deserve gentleness even after betrayal. Family counseling began the following week. Grace hated it. "I don't need therapy," Michael said. "You don't have to need it. You just have to not carry this alone." Lily asked if therapy meant she was broken. "No," Michael told her. "It means something hurt you, and you deserve help healing." In the first session, Lily brought the action camera. She held it in her lap. The therapist asked, "What does the camera feel like now?" Lily thought for a long time. "Bad." Grace shifted beside her. Lily continued, "But also mine." That makes sense, the therapist said. I wanted to make a happy movie, and the camera captured something painful. Lily nodded. Does that mean the happy parts are fake? The therapist looked at Michael, then back at Lily. No. It means one video can hold more than one truth. The happy parts can be happy, and the painful part can be painful. Lily looked uncertain. Grace said quietly, That sounds annoying. The therapist smiled. It is. For the first time in days, Lily laughed a little. That laugh became the first tiny sign that the vacation had not taken everything. Claire wrote letters. Her therapist told her not to ask for forgiveness, not to explain before taking responsibility, not to make the children comfort her guilt. The first letter was to Michael. The camera did not create the betrayal. It only showed what I was too cowardly to confess. I brought a lie into the one trip you planned to heal your family. I am sorry. The second was to Grace. You should never have had to see what you saw. You should never have had to protect Lily from the truth I created. You were right to be angry. The third was to Lily. Claire rewrote it 10 times. Finally, she wrote, Lily, your movie did not ruin the vacation. My choices did. You did nothing wrong by filming. Your love for me was not wrong. I am sorry I hurt a memory you wanted to keep beautiful. Michael read the letters first. He gave Grace hers after speaking with the therapist. Grace read it once, folded it, and placed it under her sketchbook. Lily's letter took longer. When Michael finally gave it to her, she asked, Do I have to answer? No. Do I have to forgive her? No. Can I keep it? Yes. Can I still not watch the video? Yes. She kept the letter in a drawer with her shells from Myrtle Beach. For weeks, she would open the drawer, touch the letter, touch the shells, and close it again. Healing sometimes begins with not knowing what to do with the pieces. Months later, Michael and Claire met at a quiet cafe, halfway between the house and her apartment. Claire looked thinner, exhausted, changed by consequence. Michael looked older, too. There was no anger on his face at first, only sadness. How are they? Claire asked. Michael looked down at his coffee. Healing. Slowly. Does Lily still use the camera? No. Claire closed her eyes. I'm sorry. She may again someday. Grace? Angry, protective. She misses you and hates that she does. Claire cried silently. Michael let her. Then she said, I felt overwhelmed. Being a stepmother was harder than I admitted. I felt like everyone needed me and no one saw me. Michael nodded. I believe that. I should have told you. Yes. I should have said I was drowning. Yes. Instead, I chose secrecy. Michael looked at her. Yes? Ryan followed me to the beach, but I chose to meet him. I chose to walk away from the fireworks. I chose the kiss. I chose the lie. Michael's jaw tightened. That trip was supposed to be for them. I know. I wanted one memory that didn't hurt. Claire covered her mouth. Michael's voice broke. My heart broke when I saw the video, but theirs broke when they realized the memory was never safe. She nodded, tears falling. I know. I may forgive you someday, he said. Claire looked at him. But I cannot bring you back into their lives as their stepmother. She closed her eyes. The marriage ended in that sentence. The divorce papers came later. But that was the ending. I understand, she whispered. Before they left, Claire said, Tell Lily her camera told the truth, not that it ruined anything. Michael's expression softened. I already do. Claire nodded. Good. They parted without touching. Some losses are cleaner when no one pretends goodbye. It's anything but grief. A year passed before Michael planned another trip. Not Myrtle Beach, not even the ocean at first. A small lake cabin 2 hours away, just for a weekend. Eleanor came too. Grace said she did not care where they went, as long as nobody called it healing. Lily packed her camera but left it at the bottom of her bag. Michael did not force anything. No perfect itinerary. No big family photo. No pressure to make memories. They ate sandwiches on the dock. Eleanor complained about mosquitoes. Grace sketched the trees. Lily skipped rocks badly and laughed when every stone sank immediately. On the second evening, they drove to a small lakeside town for ice cream. A street musician played near the water. The sunset turned the lake gold. Lily reached into her bag and pulled out the camera. Michael noticed, but said nothing. She turned it over in her hands. Grace saw too. You don't have to, Grace said. Lily nodded. I know. A minute passed. Then Lily turned the camera on and pointed it toward the lake. Her voice was quieter than it had been in Myrtle Beach. New vacation movie, she said. No dramatic cooler incident yet. Michael laughed softly. Eleanor lifted her spoon. I can drop my ice cream if you need drama. Please don't, Grace said. Lily smiled. Then she turned the camera toward Michael. Dad, say something. Michael looked into the lens. He did not say, "This is the best vacation." He did not say, "We're fine now." He did not lie. He said, "I'm glad we're here." Lily lowered the camera slightly. Me too. Grace stepped beside her, and, for once, did not hide from the frame. Lily looked surprised. You want to be in it? Grace shrugged. I want new memories. Just real ones. Lily's eyes filled, but she smiled. The camera kept recording. The lake shimmered behind them. No secrets stood outside the frame. Not that day. The nightmare vacation did not disappear from their lives. It became a story they learned how to carry. At first, Lily could not look at beach photos. Then, she could look at shells. Then she could talk about the funny parts. Eventually, she could say, Myrtle Beach was both good and bad, which was perhaps the most honest thing any of them could say. Grace remained watchful, but less afraid of her own instincts. She learned that noticing betrayal did not cause it. She learned that protecting Lily did not mean carrying adult secrets alone. She learned that anger and love could exist in the same memory without making her weak. Michael learned not to build healing around perfect moments. He learned children did not need flawless vacations. They needed truthful homes. They needed adults who answered hard questions without making them feel responsible for the answers. Eleanor kept one printed photo from the Myrtle Beach trip on her refrigerator. Not the fireworks, not the boardwalk, not the family picture with Claire. It was a photo Lily took on the first morning. Grace sitting on the sand, pretending not to smile, while Michael tried to build a sandcastle that kept collapsing. Claire was not in the frame, neither was Ryan. Just father, daughters, ocean, and a half-ruined sandcastle. Eleanor liked it because it was imperfect and honest. Looks like us, she once said. Michael smiled sadly. Falling apart? No, Eleanor said. Still building. Claire rebuilt her life far from the beach. She continued therapy. She stopped calling what happened getting lost, and learned to say, I had an affair. She learned that loneliness was real but not permission. She learned that being overwhelmed was something to confess, not something to hide behind another person. Sometimes she missed Lily so much she had to sit down. Sometimes she imagined Grace's face in the beach house and could not sleep. She never contacted Ryan again. One day, months after the divorce, she found an old picture Lily had taken of her holding shells. Claire stared at it for a long time. In the photo, she was smiling at Lily, not the camera. That smile had been real. The betrayal was real too. She wrote in her journal, The worst part is not that I lied in every moment. The worst part is that I mixed real love with hidden betrayal until the people I hurt could no longer tell which memories were safe. Then she wrote, A camera caught what my conscience should have stopped. She closed the journal. Outside, life continued. Inside, she finally stopped trying to escape the weight of what she had done. Years later, Lily would become the family filmmaker again. Not professionally, not seriously. Just in the way some people preserve life, because they know memory can be fragile. She filmed birthdays, lake trips, Eleanor dancing badly at Christmas, Grace pretending to hate attention, Michael burning pancakes. But she never believed cameras made things true by themselves. She learned that cameras can capture what stands in front of them, but they cannot promise the heart behind it is honest. So she learned to value something else more. What people said after the camera turned off, whether they came back when things were hard, whether they told the truth before evidence forced them to. Grace grew into someone who did not dismiss her instincts. When something felt wrong, she asked. When people called her suspicious, she remembered the beach house and trusted herself. Michael dated again eventually, but slowly. He did not look for someone to fix the family. He looked for someone honest enough to admit when family felt hard. Before introducing anyone to his daughters, he told the truth about their history. Not every detail, enough. Because he had learned that secrets do not protect children from pain. They only make pain arrive in a language children were never meant to translate. On Lily's 13th birthday, Michael found her watching an old video on her laptop. He paused at the doorway. Not Myrtle Beach. The lake trip. The one where Grace had said, I want new memories. Just real ones. Lily noticed him and smiled. You can come in. He sat beside her. On the screen, Eleanor threatened to drop ice cream for drama. Grace groaned. Michael laughed in the video. Lily watched quietly. Do you ever wish I hadn't filmed that thing at the beach? She asked. Michael knew exactly what she meant. No, She looked at him. Really? Really? Even though it ruined everything? He shook his head. It revealed what was already hurting us. That is different. Lily considered that. I used to feel like the camera was bad. I know, but it wasn't. No, it just saw. Michael nodded. It just saw. She looked back at the lake video. I think I want to make a new vacation movie this summer. Michael smiled. Where should we go? Somewhere with no boardwalk bars. He laughed. Fair. And no pretending. His smile softened. Always. Lily leaned against him. For a while, they watched the lake shimmer on the screen. A memory made after the nightmare, but not controlled by it. A vacation can create beautiful memories, but it cannot hide a secret life. When betrayal is captured on camera, the footage does more than expose an affair. It turns a family's happiest moments into evidence of the lies standing just outside the frame. But the camera that captures heartbreak can also, someday, capture healing. Not perfect healing, not painless healing, real healing. The kind that begins when the truth is finally visible, and the people left behind choose to build new memories where nothing has to hide in the background.